Somewhere tonight, in a quiet house, an older person is sitting in a chair by the window. The lamp is soft. The street outside has gone silent, and a small voice inside them is whispering something cruel. It says, "You should be doing more. You should be out there. You are letting life pass you by." Maybe you know that voice. Maybe you have heard it this very week. I want to answer that voice today, gently but firmly, because I believe it is lying to you. If you are past 70 and you find yourself spending more of your days at home, I am not here to tell you that something has gone wrong. I am here to tell you the opposite. I am here to say that these quiet years spent in your own space may be the richest and most important years of your entire life. Not the leftover years. Not the waiting room before the end. The real thing. The part everything else was preparing you for. I speak to you as a monk who has spent decades sitting in silence, watching the mind, listening to the old teachings of the Buddha. And what I have learned is this. The world sells us a story that a good life is a busy life. Go, do, achieve, be seen. But the Buddha pointed to a different door entirely. He spoke of viveka. It is an old word, and it means something our world has almost forgotten. It means solitude, quietness, stepping back from the noise, not to hide, but to finally hear yourself, not as punishment, as nourishment. So let me walk with you, slowly, through 6 truths. 6 reasons why staying home, at this age, is not surrender. It is arrival. Let us begin with the room you are sitting in right now. You probably think of your home as an ordinary place. The kitchen, the chair, the window where the morning light comes in. But I want you to see it differently today. In the time of the Buddha, the monks and nuns who had grown deep in practice would go to live in a small, plain dwelling, a hut, a cave, a single quiet room. They had a name for it. They called it their place of residence, their sacred ground. They did not go there because they had failed at life. They went because they had understood something. The place where you live quietly shapes the person you slowly become. Before 70, your home was mostly a place to collapse. You came back to it worn out from work, from errands, from 100 people needing 100 things. It was a base you rushed away from each morning and dragged yourself back to each night. But now, something has shifted. The world no longer pulls at your sleeve every hour. No one is waiting for you to perform. And in that new stillness, your home quietly becomes something else. It becomes a place where you can finally sit down inside yourself. Think of a bowl of water. If you carry it from room to room, the water sloshes and swirls, and you cannot see anything in it. But set it down, leave it still, and slowly the surface goes calm and clear until you can see your own face in it like a mirror. Your mind is that bowl, and staying home, on purpose and without shame, is the act of setting it down at last. That is not a small thing. For your inner life, that is everything. So here is the first truth. Your home is ready to become sacred ground, the very place where the deepest change of your life can happen. Now let me speak about something our whole world seems terrified of: silence. We wake and reach for the phone. We fill the car with the radio. We keep the television murmuring in the background so that no moment is ever truly bare. We have built an entire way of living designed to make sure we never sit in quiet for long. And I understand the fear behind it. When the noise finally stops, we start to hear the things we have been running from. Old regrets, worries we tucked away, questions we never wanted to answer. But the Buddha discovered something, and every quiet person after him has found it too. Silence is not empty. Silence is full. It is not a void. It is the one place where this present moment becomes real enough to touch. There is a teaching in the old texts, short and startling, where the Buddha says that in the seen there should be only the seen, in the heard only the heard. In other words, just let a sound be a sound. Without the whole story your mind rushes to wrap around it. Just this, just here. That is where peace hides. And here is a gift that comes with age. Around 70, 75, 80, the senses begin to soften. The hearing dulls a little. The eyes are not as sharp. Most people mourn this as pure loss. But look again. What if the softening is an invitation? An invitation to stop being yanked outward by every flashing, buzzing thing and to begin turning gently inward instead. Let me offer you something simple to try. Tomorrow morning, before the phone, before the television, just sit. In your favorite chair, with your tea or coffee warming your hands. For 10 minutes, do nothing. Do not try to empty your mind. Do not try to meditate correctly. Just listen to the quiet and notice what is actually there. You may be surprised. You will hear your own breathing. The small creak of the house. A bird outside. Wind. The warmth of the cup. The weight of your body in the chair. And underneath all of it, a quiet sense of simply being here. That presence is you. It has been with you your whole life, waiting patiently to be noticed. Silence is not where you disappear. Silence is where you finally meet yourself. Now let us speak honestly about the body, because it has been changing and no one talks about it kindly. The knees speak up now. The energy that once carried you through a long day arrives on its own schedule. Sleep is different. Balance is different. And our world, which worships youth and speed above almost everything, has trained us to feel all of this as failure. Something to fix, to medicate, to be embarrassed by. But the Buddha taught a practice of watching the body with attention and care. In that practice, the body is not the enemy of the spirit. It is a teacher. Every ache carries a message. Every wave of tiredness is the body saying, slow down, there is something here for you to learn. Consider what the aging body actually shows you if you pay attention. It shows you that nothing stays the same. The strong body of 30 is different at 50, different again at 70. This is one of the deepest truths the Buddha ever pointed to. Everything changes. Nothing holds its shape forever. And when you truly feel that, not as a gloomy idea, but in your own knees rising from a chair, something loosens inside you. You stop fighting reality. And there is enormous peace in that ceasefire. So much of our suffering comes from insisting that things be other than they are. Now hear me carefully. I am not telling you to neglect your health. Keep taking your walks. Keep doing your gentle stretches. Care for this body that has carried you faithfully for 70, 80, 90 years. But know the difference between caring movement and anxious restlessness. When you move slowly and mindfully through your own home, ordinary things become sacred. Walking to the kitchen becomes practice. Folding the laundry becomes practice. Watering a plant, washing a single dish, sitting in a patch of afternoon sun. All of it, done with awareness, becomes a way of being fully present in this body, in this moment. The body is not slowing you down to punish you. It is slowing you down to invite you to finally stop rushing through your own life and to actually live it. Now I want to say something you may not have heard in a very long time. You are not behind. You are exactly ripe. In the old collection of poems, there are verses written by elder monks and elder nuns, not the bright poems of eager young seekers. These were written by old men and old women who had lived long, tangled lives, who had known grief and labor and love and loss, and who had arrived, in their final years, at a peace that only time can grant. One celebrated verse comes from an elder woman who describes her own aged body honestly, the gray hair, the lined skin, the slowed steps, and then ends with quiet serenity, saying that one who understands this truth is at peace. She did not find that peace in spite of growing old. She found it through growing old. We live in a world that measures wisdom by diplomas and titles and achievements. By that yardstick, someone who has stepped back from career and busyness might feel their time for growing has ended. But real wisdom does not come from a classroom, and it cannot be rushed. It grows the way a great tree grows, slowly, quietly, season by season, through loss and recovery, through loving and letting go. You have been gathering the raw material for it your whole life. Every hardship you survived, every relationship that taught you who you are, every time you were wrong and had to face it, Every time you broke and somehow healed, all of it is inside you right now. But here is the secret. That wisdom does not ripen in noise and hurry. It ripens in reflection, in the quiet space where a lifetime of experience can finally be examined and understood. And that quiet space is exactly what staying home gives you. The time to see the patterns of your own life, to feel the threads of meaning running through all of it, to arrive, perhaps for the very first time, at a sense of what it was all for. You are not too late. You are exactly on time. There is one more fear I want to touch, because it sits under so many others. The fear of being useless. Perhaps you worked hard all your life. You raised children, or built something, or cared for others. You knew who you were by what you gave. And now, as the pace has changed, a quiet dread can creep in. Am I still giving anything? Am I still needed? Does my life still matter? Let me answer plainly. Yes. Yes, you are still giving. Yes, you are still needed. And yes, more than you know, your life still matters. The Buddha placed generosity at the very foundation of the whole path. But the generosity he praised most was not the loud, public, visible kind. It was the quiet, steady, intentional kind. And here is the beautiful part. This kind of giving requires you to go absolutely nowhere. You can telephone someone who is lonely, and instead of reporting your news, you can simply listen, truly listen, and give them the rare gift of feeling heard. Do you know how starved this world is for one person who will listen without hurry and without judgment? You can practice loving kindness right in your chair, breathing quietly, sending wishes of peace to your family one by one, to your neighbors, to people who have hurt you, out to the whole world. That is not doing nothing. It is one of the most powerful practices there is, and you can do it from your living room. You can write a letter to a grandchild, sharing something life has taught you, words they may read again and again long after you are gone. And you can simply be calm in a world drowning in anxiety. Do not underestimate that. A person who has found real peace becomes a gift to everyone near them. Their steadiness spreads. Their quiet joy feeds people. Think of a great old tree standing at the edge of a field. It is not rushing anywhere. It is not doing anything a busy world would applaud. It is simply there. And yet birds nest in its branches. Children play in its shade. Its roots hold the earth together. Its leaves clean the air. Its whole presence is generosity. You can be that tree, rooted, still, quietly giving, just by being the person you have become. And now, with tenderness, I want to speak of something our world flinches away from: the end of the journey. Please do not be afraid of what I am about to say. I will not speak of death coldly or fearfully or with that hushed discomfort that treats it as forbidden. I want to speak of it the way the Buddha did, with clarity, with honesty, and with great kindness. In our tradition, there is a practice of holding death gently in mind. To a modern ear that can sound morbid, even frightening. Why dwell on such a thing? But the purpose is not to create fear. The purpose is to set you free. Because when you truly know, not as a distant idea but deep in your bones, that this life is precious and limited and will not repeat, something changes in how you live. You stop postponing what matters. You stop saving your kindness for some later day. You stop waiting to forgive, or to say the words "I love you," or to simply sit and enjoy the light in the morning. You begin to live fully and gratefully, right now. This is why every day you spend at home, in quiet and in presence, is not waiting for the end. It is preparation of the deepest kind, not the anxious sorting of papers, though those have their place, but the quiet becoming whole of a person on the inside. Think of an oil lamp. As its oil runs low, it does not panic. It does not flicker with fear as the hours pass. It simply burns, warm and clear and complete, giving its light fully until the very last moment. That is what I wish for you. Not a long list of outings and activities in these years. Simply this: to burn clearly, to be truly present in the life that is yours. To let each morning at home become a morning of gratitude and awareness and love, so that when the time comes, whenever it comes, you will not feel you wasted your days. You will feel complete. Every day at home is not waiting. Every day at home is the quiet art of dying well by living well. So let me gather these 6 truths together as something for you to keep. When you choose the quiet of your own home over the restless noise of a world that never stops rushing, you are doing something of enormous value. Your home becomes sacred ground for practice. Your silence becomes full, the very doorway into presence. Your slowing body becomes a teacher, showing you the truth of change with every breath. Your long life becomes a source of wisdom, ripening exactly as it should. Your stillness becomes generosity, a gift of peace to everyone around you. And your daily practice becomes preparation, the inner wholeness that lets a good death be the natural close of a good life. The world will always call you to rush. It will always offer one more reason to go out and prove something. That noise is very convincing. But the teachings call you home, not only to a place, but to yourself, to the deep, quiet presence that has been at the center of you since the day you were born, and that will remain steady and clear at the moment you leave. You do not have to earn it. You do not have to travel to find it. You do not have to be younger or stronger or busier. You only have to be still and to recognize in that stillness what was always there. If these words have brought you even a little comfort or peace, I am grateful. Share them with someone you love who may need to hear them. And if you wish to keep walking this quiet path together, you are welcome to stay with this channel, where these teachings are offered freely in the hope that they bring some good. May you be well. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. And may you find deep happiness in the life that is yours.